Welcome to Planning Center University. My name is Beth and I am a support specialist here at Planning Center. Today we are going to be talking about registrations. Registrations is our product for creating simple, inviting online signups and accepting payments for events. We're going to be talking about 3 different types of events today, both what they look like on the admin side, getting them set up, and what they look on the attendee side, which is Church Center, and how they look signing up for events. And then we're going to finish off talking about Checkistrations, which is our integration between check-ins and registrations. Before we get too far, I do want to call out a few things. The first is this lovely little question mark in the top right corner. It is your best friend when working in Planning Center. Anytime you have a question about anything on any product, you can click on that question mark and it's going to give you some articles about the page that you're on. You can search our full documentation if you want to look about payments, for example. You can search our documentation. You can click here to browse it, or you can open up a support ticket. If you can't find the answers on your own, you can write into support and we will give you all of the assistance. Our current reply time is about just a little over an hour, so if you write in right now, you'll probably get a response before I'm done talking. You can watch this video later. You can watch it right now with me, or you can watch it later at planningcenter.com/university. And that's also the place to go to sign up for our other sessions we have coming up, talking about other products, and watch replays of this event and other ones that have already happened this month. Okay, let's dive in. Looking here at the admin side, we can see this is the index of all my events. I can filter by the specific campus, the specific category. I've got lovely photos for all my events. I've got the names, the dates, all of this high-level information. When you're making a new event, it looks like this. So this is the 3 different kinds of events. We have the detailed ones that gather all of the information, a simple sign-up that just collects basic information, and then a none event, which is used for creating like announcement type events. Wrong page. And going back here, found it. So this first event that we're going to talk about is an announcement event. So this is a none event that I've already created. It's very basic, just very few details that I need to fill out just so I can put it online and say, here's what it looks like when you're looking at this event. I can see the dates, I can see its published status. This event image here, we've partnered with Unsplash, which is a huge database of free photos. They're beautiful. You can click here, just click free photos, and it'll search for literally tens of thousands of photos that are super high quality. You can also upload your own image here. So I like the one I've got, so I'm going to leave that. Scrolling down a bit, we can set the specific location for this event. If it was something that was going online, if you were hosting an online class, you can click under location type. You can hit online and type out the website, and it'll put a link on your webpage. On the Church Center side, we can set specific dates and times. We can, if we have a specific location, we've got that map here. We can change our visibility on Church Center, which I will highlight a little more later as that pertains to the more complicated events. And then we can make somebody a manager of this specific event. I'm going to look at what this looks like on Church Center. So there are 2 sides to registration. So there's the admin side, which I'm going to switch back to, like this. Anytime you're seeing registrations here in the top corner and this lovely teal bar at the top, we are on the admin side. When I switch to this side, we are looking at the Church Center side, which is the attendee side. For a announcement only event here, we can see that there's no register button, but this is what Church Center looks like for the attendee. So for this one, we're seeing the same exact information that we saw on the other page. We got the picture, the dates and times. We can click on the map because we've put in a specific location. If it were online, we could click here and hit view online. It would take us to the video link that we put in. All this information is set up exactly like I just did. While I'm here, I want to highlight what the whole registration side of Church Center looks like. So clicking on events, I can see all of those events the same way that I could see on the admin side, just structured a little differently. We've got those same pictures, we've got the dates. We can scroll down and see all of the different things about all of the different events. You can filter by campus and category, or you can just leave that main events. Also, I want to talk about our mobile app, which is Church Center. It's a free version, a free app that we offer to all of our customers that will show you the exact same view of this website on a nice little app. So people can log in, they can manage their own events, they don't have to log in every time they go to register for anything, and they can do a few other things depending on your subscription. So Church Center is totally free. It works and functions the exact same way as the website. It's just on your phone, so you've got that lovely computer in your pocket that you can use. The next event that we're going to talk about today is, I'm going to go back one more. The next event we're going to talk about today is a simple sign up. So this one is just collecting the basic information. Right now, a lot of churches are restricting signups, so you've got just a few people that you're allowing in your auditorium. So this is a perfect place for that. Before we get into this list of registrations, we're going to go to the settings. The settings here, a little more complicated. We've got that same event details from the None event, for that announcement event, with the description, the image, the dates and times, the location, visibility on Church Center. I want to highlight that now. If an event is published, that means it is visible on Church Center. If it's hidden, if you have an event that you are wanting to set up beforehand, before you want to make sure everything is set up just right before anybody can sign up, you can make it hidden, get everything set up, and then publish it. Only accessible via direct link. So if you have a sign up that you don't want everyone in your church to be able to sign up to, you only want it to be specific to certain people, you can click on that box, and this hide automatically determines when it's going to fall off of the list of your registration of your events on Church Center. You can set those campuses and categories, and then for simple signups and detailed events, you can set a support contact. So this is the person that is in charge of this event, that any information or questions someone might have, they can reach out to this person. You can also make someone an event manager. And administration, admin access in registrations is all or nothing. If you are a registrations admin, you can manage all of the events in your entire account. You can do all of the things. For detailed events with payments, you can issue refunds, you can collect payments, you can change all of the settings. For an event manager is a time when you don't want someone to be a full level admin in registrations, but you want them to be able to manage a specific event or a series of specific events. You can make them an event manager for those ones. It's really useful in cases where you have like a youth event that you want the youth pastor to be able to just take full control and run with his event, but you don't want the children's pastor messing with that youth event, or you don't want the youth pastor to be able to adjust your membership classes. So those times when someone needs to be able to manage just one specific event, you can make them an event manager. And anyone who is an admin in your account can be the support contact, or if they are an event manager for that event, they can be the support contact. Okay, so with the next part is the general settings, which are a little more complicated. The registration status is, if it's open, people can sign up. If it's closed, they can't sign up. If an event is closed, you can open it automatically. If it's open, you can close it automatically. So you can set things to be restrictive of when people are allowed to sign up. I want this one to be open, so when I go to use it later, it works for me. This confirmation email here is the message. This is included in the default message that goes out. Every single person who signs up will receive a confirmation message that lists out all the details of their registration. This part is included at the top. This notification list, if I wanted to be notified every single time somebody signed up for this event, I would put my email in here. Whether they signed up or they canceled, I would get notified. So you can keep, if you need someone to keep a close eye on who's signing up, you can use that feature. And a new feature that we just released that I'm so excited about is the ability for people to cancel their own registration. So before we released this last week, it was just last week, you would have to, if somebody wanted to cancel their registration, they would have to contact an event admin, and that person would have to go log in and cancel their event, cancel their registration. With this, if somebody signs up, they can go back online, log in, and cancel their own registration. So then if it's something that's really limited capacity, that will open up more spots for more people. So love that feature. the heart of a simple sign up is the selection. So this is those choices that you get to pick. For this example, we're limited on who can come to our service this weekend. This is a really great place to do for a potluck or something like that. I can't think of any other examples besides a potluck at the moment. I'm sure I've got them somewhere in my head, but I can't think of them right now. So a potluck for, you have 2 people bringing turkey, you want 4 people bringing mashed potatoes, you want 2 people bringing rolls. You can set those different options up and set capacities for those things. That way you have only 2 people bringing turkey and 4 people bringing mashed potatoes. Otherwise, in my family, everyone brings mashed potatoes because that's our favorite meal, our favorite part of the meal, and then no one brings turkey, and then it's just a whole fiasco. So you can limit those signups that way. Here I can see the different selection names. I can see how many people have signed up, and I can see if it's a wait list. This edit capacities here is going to be the spot where I determine how many people are allowed to sign up for this. You can leave it unlimited, you can delete that out and leave it unlimited, or you can set specific things. This waitlist feature is another new feature that I love so much. What this does is if this is turned on for a specific selection, if that selection fills up, you'll now have a wait list for that same thing. So I'll show you what this looks like in just a second on the attendee side, but it turns it on so that they can say, I would still like to come to this one if a spot opens up. And if you see these check marks here, these green ones mean I can turn it off. If it's gray, that means I have somebody already on the wait list. So I can't turn it off because someone's there. If I promote that person to be an actual attendee, then I can uncheck it, but I'm going to leave it for now. Let's save that. So that is what it looks like on the admin side. Then we're going to go here. This is what it looks like on Church Center. So right now on this specific page, I am not logged in. So I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like for anybody that's signing up. We've got that same details of my name. I've got that lovely picture that I picked. I can see the same details, and I've got the list of all the selections that are available. So these ones are full or close to full, and so I can see, oh, there's a wait list available. If there wasn't a wait list available, it would say almost full, or it would say full or at capacity. I don't know exactly. So you uncheck that and see what it looks like that way. So when I'm ready to sign up, I can click register, and it's going to let me see. Oh, it says full. Figured it out. So I can, because those 2 are full and they have a wait list, I can go and say, I want to come to the 9 o'clock class. I don't want to come 11 o'clock because that's too late. I want to come at the 9 a.m. so that I can go and get an early lunch right after service. All you have to do here is put in, I can type my own name, your name and your last name and your email address. Church.co, and then complete it. All done. Ta-da. So I can see here that I can cancel online, or I can contact that support contact for the person. Once I sign up for something and I'm on the wait list, it's going to look like this. So it's got my church logo. It's got the specific event that I signed up for. This was my confirmation, my custom confirmation email. And it says you are on the wait list for these 2 spots. I can click here to view the registration, and I've got all of the details of exactly where I need to go. And then from here, I can also click to cancel online, or I can also cancel online. Nope, not there, but I can cancel online when I'm logged in. Now I'm going to show you back on the admin side. A lot of jumping around, but I trust that you can follow me. Back on the admin side, I have signed up and I'm on the wait list, and William has also signed up and is on the wait list. So I can go to here and I can promote him and say, congratulations. Oh, it's at capacity. Oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to go over capacity. But now that I recall, Allie told me that she can't come. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I can cancel her registration. You can also edit someone's registration. So you can edit their sign up and say, if they have the specific number that they have coming, you can change it. You can move them to the wait list instead. But for Allie, I'm just going to full out cancel it. Now she is going to show up in my list of canceled attendees. And now I can go to my wait list here and I can promote William, and it will promote no problem. And then I'll show you again, just because that was super fast and super easy. I just want to make sure you see exactly what this looks like. So we can promote and promote. And now when I go to log in, I'm going to see, oh, you are signed up. You will also, it automatically sends an email to this person saying, good news, you were on the wait list, but now you are all signed up. So they can click on here to view it, or they can go on, click on that button to cancel it if they need to. That is all of a simple sign up. And now I can see all of my attendees. Looking at this list of attendees, there is a few options here that I want to highlight real quick. This filter button will let me pick based on the selection options that we have here, and I can filter that these are all the people who signed up for this specific one. And then in the action, I can email these people. So if I want to contact just the people who signed up for one specific event, for example, if I want to communicate with everybody who signed up kids to say, here's the plan that we have for the kids that you're bringing, I can I can contact just those people. So I can do both services. Oh, it didn't work for both services, but I can do one service and then email the other one. So that filter button is really great, and then the action applies to those specific ones. Okay, that is everything to do with a simple sign up. The last event that we're going to talk about today is the Big Kahuna, a detailed event, which includes payments. It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited. The event that I've got set up that's coming up in the winter is winter camp. We're going to go snowboarding and skiing up at Big Bear, and I'm so excited. I love snowboarding so much. So because it is a detailed event, we can see a whole lot more settings. We've got a few more tabs across the top and a lot of things to get going with. So let's look. This event description, we've got more information here. You can, with any event description, you can use Markdown to create formatting, those headers and links and images and all the fun things that way. Again, if you need help with anything, you can always click on the question mark. It's right there, and support will help you out, or you can find an article about how to use Markdown. Let's see. We've got the full dates and times here. We've got the specific location. We've got this is the campus and the category. All of these same things from the simple sign up. So it works exactly the same. I'm going to move on to the general event, the general settings, sorry. This registration status, it is open. It's going to close automatically about a week or two before event, so I can make sure that I've got all of the forms before sign up and before all the payments, so I can make sure I've got everything collected long before. I've got information about make sure everybody brings a sleeping bag and sunscreen, because I don't know if you've ever gotten snowburn from snowboarding or skiing. Like, sun hits the snow and you get burned. It's terrible. Don't do it. Wear sunscreen even in the snow. We've got that same option to allow people to cancel their own registrations. It won't do any kind of payment information. So if they signed up and they paid and then they go on and they cancel, it won't refund them automatically. You will still need to do that as an ad from the admin side, which I will show you how to do in just a moment. And that notification list. The guest registrations is for those times that you don't need a whole lot of information. So with a payment information, we're going to leave that alone for right now. Attendee types are the core of a detailed sign up, a detailed event. We can set up so many restrictions beyond just the capacity. We can set restrictions based on all of the things. So for my student type here, I've got, it's only allowed for, we're going to switch this to 4th graders because we can let those young kids come in. They've had a hard time this year. We're just going to let them come in too. So I've got specific grades. The cost, you can set the cost based on the specific attendee type as well as the partial payment. So partial payments is when you have like a down payment that they have to, so everybody, you don't have to pay the full $300 up front. You need to pay at least $100 to reserve your spot. We can set specific information to collect, and this is information that's already stored on their profile if their profile exists. So if you log in and your family's already in your database, all the information is going to pre-populate, so you don't have to fill everything out every time. But if anything needs to change, then you can go and make those changes. All of this information to collect is stored in their people profile, so it kind of works together with people, and if they make a change here, it'll be reflected in people and reflected across all of your products. So we can make different ones required, optional, and hidden. We're gonna, didn't make any changes, so I hit cancel. And then the other option is you can make things show on Church Center or not. So for my counselors, I was going to have it so that it doesn't show on Church Center. It's really useful in those cases when, like, if I wanted to make sure that I have vetted them, that they've got a background check, and that I know everything about them, then I can make it hide from Church Center. So it's an admin-only attendee type. That way, and you can see on the page, this little eyeball crossed out means it is not shown on Church Center. So I do want to show it on Church Center just for this example. I've got it restricted. Only adults can sign up as counselors. So I can see like this specific capacity. So I can see what those restrictions are. You can also edit capacities. So I only want 20 counselors, and I can only have 40 students, which is a really good ratio, which is, I don't think I've ever experienced that in any youth event I've ever been to, but it would be great if it could happen. So I can see how many people have signed up based out of how many people are allowed to sign up and the total amounts there. Next is going to be add-ons. Add-ons are the place for those optional things that have a cost or are limited. So for my camp that's coming up, the youth can buy a t-shirt, but it's not included in their camp price. So they've got to pick exactly which size they want. So I've got the different variations all have different prices. I know sometimes you have things that are, this size is $5, this size is $6, or I don't know, different things like that. So you can set up the different variation names, the price, and if there's a limited quantity, if you wanted to say I've only got 10 of each one and the first come, first serve, you can set it that way. You can make add-ons, hide those from Church Center. You can enable partial payments so they don't have to pay that deposit to include it. For this case, I want people to pay for their shirt up front so that I know how many that I need to order way beforehand. You can allow people to purchase more than one. So for this case, you can only have one shirt. So I'm going to leave that box unchecked. And this is only available for students. So this is where it is hinged based on that specific attendee type. The next one is a snack bar credit. So we're going to have a snack bar at the camp, and if any of the students, they can bring cash, but if their parents want to pay by card, they can preload a card in $5 increments right here. And on this one, they can purchase more than one so that they can load it up in those $5 increments. We are going skiing and snowboarding, as I said before, but I've only got 50 passes available. I've prepaid on how many passes we pre-purchased the passes so we could get a really good deal. So I've only got 50 available. So only the first 50 people that sign up are able to get them. They're $50 a piece, and you don't have to pay for it up front. You should have to pay for it up front. I'm going to change that because that makes more sense. So that is all of the details about add-ons. And again, if you need help with figuring out exactly how to structure your add-ons, you can write into support and we can help you out with that. You'll hear me say that a lot because I love it when people write into support for help. I would rather you write in and us help you than you struggle on your own. We are here to help. Questions are next. Don't ask, not if you ask questions. My brain was like, oh, they have questions. Questions are for those things that you can make those required, but they don't have a cost. So for my camp, I've got a t-shirt that is included for the counselors, but I need to know what size they want. So I've got different options set up here based on the different sizes I have available. I am only asking it of the counselors, and it is required for every counselor. With questions, you can have a text one so they can fill out a full long form answer, or a paragraph for a really long form answer. Multiple choice is has that drop down. There was a little button to select allow multiple selections, and that turns the drop down into checkboxes. And then a yes no. So if you were going to ask, do you play the guitar? You could make that a yes no, and they can just click that right there. I've got all the questions I need set up already. The next thing is forms. So we have two types of forms that we allow. We have a PDF that you can upload. A link will be emailed to all of your attendees. They can download it, fill it out, and turn it in. Or we have another integration here called Formistrations. So in the People database product, there is a form feature that is really great, allows you to set up custom questions and all the details, and we can link to those here. So any students that sign up, I need their parent to do a child activity release. Anybody who signs up to purchase that, or anybody who purchases the lift pass, they need to do a lift pass so they understand the risks. You can set these based specific on the attendee type or based on the add-on. And they will be automatically, when they're filling out the registration at the end, once they've finalized their registration, there'll be options to fill out those forms, which I will show you once we're all done with the setup side. Discounts. Discounts can be, we have 3 different types. I can do 3 different types. We have a code discount, so that's this kind here, that is, they can type in the code. We have an early bird discount, which is for this one, anybody who signs up before December 1st gets $30 off. And then we have group discounts. So for this first one, any groups that sign up, any students, if you've got, you're signing up 2 or more students, you're going to get 20% off of every student after the first one. If you've got 3 or more, you get 30% off on the 3rd kid and beyond. So for those big families, we want to make sure that it makes it affordable for them so they can bring all of their kids. They don't have to pick one favorite kid and let that kid go. They can let all of the kids go. Any discount can be flat rate or a percent. So the flat rate will let you pick the specific amount. A percent, we've got a drop down here of a whole plethora of options here. You can have it apply to the add-ons or not. And then you can have any discount can expire. So you can have it set that it's only good through the end of the year, or through, if you sign up before, wrong button, if you sign up within the certain time frame. You can also set them specific to the attendee type. So all of my discounts right now are only for my kids. The counselors already have a discounted rate, so I don't need to set up any of those. This is another one. If you're trying to get your discounts to do a specific amount and you can't get them quite right, you can write into support and we can help you math it out. Math can be hard. We can help. Scholarships are for this example we've done for our camp, we did a car wash over the summer, and every kid that we raised $2,000, and every kid that worked gets a few dollars off of their amount of off of their camp fee. So you can set up a whole bunch of different things. You can go in here and edit how much it is. If you get more money in for that specific scholarship fund, you can keep adding to things that way. Okay. So that is the admin side of the setting things up. The next thing before we move on to the other tabs, we're going to switch over to, nope, not there. We're going to switch over to Church Center. So on this page, I'm already logged in. So when I click on register, it's going to take me to my family. But before I do that, I've got all that same information is here again. So all those things that were in the event details are filled out here. The attendee types are here. Because they have a early bird discount, it's saying this is how long you have it until this date. And we can see that the counselors are here as well. If either of those attendee types had been hidden from Church Center, it just wouldn't be available there. So I'll take a quick water. Okay. So I am going to register my family. So I'm already logged in, and it's going to let me pick that I am a counselor because I am definitely over 18, and I'm going to bring both of my kids. Let's see, Ada may not be old enough. She's not old enough. But I thought I fixed that. Oh well, no worries. So we're going to sign up the 2 of us together and see what that looks like. So for the counselor attendee type, I didn't have any details that I needed right now because I already know all of them. So I'm just going to skip straight to the add-ons, and I can pick the different sizes. Then for Ben, goes to Ben, and all of the information that I need from him, if I needed to update any things there, add another allergy, I could do that. The emergency contact is going to auto-populate with my information because I'm logged in. We do recommend that parents always log in as themselves and then register their children. That way the emails and any contact information goes to the parent. You don't want to be telling Junior about the payments you need for Junior's account if Junior can't pay. So for the student thing, the student attendee type, we can pick the different things that he wants. So he wants $20 to spend. I don't want to have to give him $20 cash later on, and he definitely wants to snowboard. And then it's going to go to the next page. And here it is. So we can see I didn't get anything off the early bird or the second child, but it applied to my whole registration, so it's showing me there. I don't know why that's there. The early bird, so he did get $30 off, which basically covers the cost of his snack bar and his youth camp with a little more. So we've got the full outline of everything there. Because I haven't finalized it, I can edit the details of what he signed up with his add-ons. Once I've finished the registration, the attendee can't edit their add-ons. They can edit their personal information as well as their questions, but they won't be able to edit the add-ons. I would have to do that from the admin side, which I will show you in a moment. I can see a breakdown here of the full cost, what the discount is, what the total was, and this is the balance that I have. And we're gonna go ahead and put all of the, oh, that's not, I missed, I'm sorry. 40. So they are free to pay anything between the minimum deposit, which is all those partial payments, and the total due, and anything in between. So they can click on here and type in if they wanted to pay $350, they could. In this example, I'm just going to go ahead and pay everything. And once that goes through, you'll see I have been successfully registered. It does have a warning here that I still need 2 forms. So this medical release form is a PDF. I don't want to fill that out now, but the online form, I can click on here and it takes me straight to that form. So I can check the box. I don't have any medical issues, all done. And then I can close that, and now I can go to both of Ben's forms and just fill those out right away. They already know about his asthma, so we're good. Close that, and the child activity release because he is a student, and I agree that he'll be fine. Now I can see if I needed to make another payment, if I hadn't paid the full amount, it would be another option to pay right here, but I did pay the full amount because I just want to be paid and done. I can also view all of the events that I have registered for. If I go to my profile and click on my registrations, it will show, so this one I still need to do that PDF form. I can see this kids classes here that I started signing up but I didn't finish, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because I don't want that to be shown anymore. But if I needed, so the spring retreat, so this is earlier this year we took a retreat and I didn't finish paying for that, so I can go click on here and pay for it. You can also click on directly on that event and I can see all that same information again. So now I can see that those forms are checked off, so we're all good. But I'm still missing this, the medical release form. So I could click on that, download it, and then I would send it in that way. I did get a confirmation email here that says that same text. It's got all of the paid amounts. This is how much I paid. This is how much I owe, and then all of the forms. So I got this confirmation before I filled out any forms, so it's telling me that I still need to fill them out, but I don't. We both know I've already done that. And then I have all of the other details of this event are there in the confirmation. So now looking at my list of attendees, there I am. This is the whole list of everyone who's registered. I've got the active attendees and the canceled. I can see if there is yellow here, that means they're missing something. For mine that I just signed up, I am missing those PDF forms. So I'm gonna say that I already got them, don't tell anybody. And automatically saves. I can see the full breakdown of anything. If I needed to adjust the add-ons, I could do that here. So for example, if he wanted to change if he wanted some more snack bar or less, or if he decided he didn't want to go snowboarding, I could adjust that, which I'm not going to make any changes right now, but I could. For those formistration forms that are the people forms online, I can click on View Submission, and that's going to open that form in People. If you have access to the People product, it would open it up, and I could view any of the details. So you can add a lot of information there that they could fill out beyond just those checkboxes that we have in our example. This is all of the details about my registration. I can click on this to do the breakdown of this is how much the cost was. This is the discounts that I qualified for. I can, if I needed to add an attendee, so if I wanted to bring my daughter, I could do that, but there's no available attendee types. It didn't work. If I wanted to cancel an attendee, if somebody said if I didn't allow them to cancel online, they could cancel here. I can apply a code discount, so that any of those code discounts that I've created, I can apply those from here. I can cancel the whole registration, and I can send out email. I can resend that confirmation email. If there was a balance due, I can send out a balance due reminder email, and I can send just a generic email about this message, about this specific event. So it includes the name of the event in the header, in the subject line, as well as the event information. So when communicating with a specific attendee, I can do that way, or from this action, I can email everyone again. On this list of attendees, I can see the balance due, I can see if they've got forms due, I can look at the canceled attendees. So for Don here, he registered as a counselor, but then he paid, but then he canceled. So I can restore it. So he just changed his mind that he does want to come. I can issue a refund here. So exactly, excuse me, how much was paid, I can refund to that same card that was used. Excuse me. That's a lot of talking, but I can do it. For Don here, he contacted me and said he actually does want to come. He changed his mind again, so now it's restored. The balances are paid, and everything is ready there. Looking at this Lincoln family here, I can see Tad canceled, but William Wallace and Robert are here. So William here qualified for that second child discount, and Robert here, he was the first child, so he doesn't have the third one. But if I go down here and restore Tad, we can see that he now qualifies, so he gets that second child, Robert is the first child, and William here is that third child. So we can see the full amounts of each thing. We can see how those discounts are stacking up. We can move on to the next part here. So we can see that now that Tad is coming again, we can see there's a balance due. That is all of that information there. For the payments that you process, so you can collect cards on the attendee side, so we can add a credit card here. We can also do the car wash, so if they do pay by card, we've partnered with Stripe, and we have a really fantastic rate. It's 2.15% plus 30 cents per transaction. And that's for all credit cards that are processed through either the admin side or the attendee side. It's the same rate, and it doesn't matter what kind of card it is. Visa, Discover, American Express, all of those. There's another one, MasterCard. So it doesn't matter which kind it is. They're all the same rate. For scholarships, when applying a scholarship on the admin side, it can only be done on the admin side, but it's going to pull that full amount there that they owe, and then we can submit that. So now we can see the payment was all done by the car wash. This is our youth pastor, so he was there the whole time, so he doesn't need to pay for any of it. We can also see here the full list of payments. So this is all of the different payments that have come in for this event. We can see those Stripe fees if they were paid by card. Otherwise, like cash was received for some, or a credit card. To accept cash or check for a full amount, you can set on the attendee type, you can set the partial payment. I'm going to go there real quick. Follow me. On the attendee type, we can set the partial payment to 0. So if we set this full down to 0, we can save, they would be able to finalize their whole registration without paying anything. And then they can come or mail in a check if people still use mail, right? or bring in cash to your office to pay for their event that way. Otherwise, they do, if they're paying in cash, and if you want to accept cash and check payments, but you still want a partial payment, they do have to pay that deposit with a card. So that is the payments area. That is the registrations. The filters on the registrations, this list of all my attendees, there's a lot more for this detailed one based on all of the information that I've already set up. So the different attendee types, the assignment types, which I haven't gotten to yet, whether or not they received funds from a car wash, which add-ons they purchased, which discounts they qualified for or used, which forms have filled in or haven't filled in, all of the things. So you can get really detailed and start add a whole bunch of filters based on all of that information. You can also filter based on the specific name of who you're looking for. So and then once you've filtered down, so if we filter by McLennan, then we can email just these people or send these reminders to just these people. With the detailed event, we also have a few other emails here. We can send that balance due reminder email to everyone that is still owes, if they haven't registered or if they haven't received a balance due reminder, so you can really pester people if you need to. You can include a personal message in that's similar to that custom confirmation, and the same with the form due reminder. So it will send them a link to the forms that they need. If it's an online form, they can click it and fill it out right there. If it is a PDF form, they can click it, download it, and then send it in. So a lot of options there. So we went over registrations, we went over payments. Next one is assignments. Assignments is one of my favorite features. It is the place for putting people into groups based on, which you can do it based on very specific things, or you can just do overall. So if you had, for example, for my cabins here, I've got very specific cabins based on their gender and their grade, which this 4th and 5th one, I don't have anybody of that age, so nobody's going to be there. But the 6th and 8th grade, I've got these students have already been assigned that based on, they qualify based on the specific restrictions to this assignment area. So you can set a name, and then you can change it to available based on gender, grade, or age, and then or specific attendee types. So our cabins, so looking at the list of assignments, I can see all of the different areas here. I've got a few people that haven't been assigned yet, and I've got a few here that were. If I wanted to manually assign someone to an area, I can click on here and it'll filter. It'll give me just the ones that are available for that person, or I can go to the actions and auto assign, and it'll assign everyone based on the assignments restrictions and their personal profiles information, their registration information. So there's the 2 times, the waterfall, which just fills everybody in from top to bottom. And the balance kind of makes sure that, you've got 3 in each as you fill up. So all of my cabins right now are just for the students. So my counselors don't have an option at the moment, but I'm going to go back to the buses. And the buses are, so we've got a middle school bus and a high school bus. So anyone between 4th and 8th grade is in the middle school one, and everyone between 9th and 12th. I haven't registered anybody yet. We want to keep the buses based on age, so there's less fighting, and it just makes things a little simpler. Keep all the same like children together. So I'm going to go ahead and auto assign, and a new balanced again, which doesn't really matter because I have at this point, because I have based on those specific things. So if I had multiple ones that they would fit in, it would balance them out. But in this case, we're good. I do want to also assign my counselors, so I'm going to remove those restrictions to my 2 buses so that I can assign some counselors there. That way we can override those settings that I needed. So I can go to the unassigned ones and auto assign. So now everyone is assigned 100%. So I've got everybody's, I know exactly which bus they are going on. In their registration, you can see the specific assignments that they've been assigned to. So I haven't been assigned to a cabin, but I am on the high school bus, and my son is in the Fox cabin, and he's on the middle school bus. I don't have to ride with my son. Okay. If I wanted to edit it, I could go back to the assignment tab and edit the bus. And I'm going to put myself back on. I'm going to put him, I should be on the same bus with him. And middle school. So that is the admin side, all of the things. It was a lot of information, I know. But now today is the day of my event, and I want to check everyone in. I can do that from a few different places and a few different levels, 2 different levels. I can do it from the specific assignment area, so I want to check in, or from the registration page, the main page, I can check in. So you can do it at the overall level, and it's going to let me check everybody in just straight into the event, no details, no more information other than that, or I can do it in based on the specific assignments. So here today, we're about to load the bus. I want to assign them. I want to check them into the specific bus that they're getting on. Once we get up to camp, I'm going to check them in again to their cabin. So it's going to show me what cabin they are going to so I can tell them then. With a Checkistration event, similar, exactly the same way it works with check-ins, you have 3 different types of stations: roster, manned, and self. For a roster station with Checkistrations, it's going to give you a list of everybody who's signed up, just similar to like a clipboard where you could check people off. A manned station is going to let people, when they search, it's going to pull up everyone that registered with them and they can check them in. And a self is going to only allow people to check in their group, and they can only check in with a self station if they are complete and finalized and have nothing wrong with their registration. They would be those ones that are green on the list of attendees. Anybody who's yellow, they're missing a balance, they're missing a form, a question, their personal information, they're going to not be able to check in on a self station. They would have to go to a manned station. For this, before I get to the specific station, if you want to set up labels for your event, so if you want to, when they check in, it prints off a label, you would start the event from registrations. Once you're here in check-ins, click on the event, go to labels and locations, and then add that label right there. You can make it based on the specific location. So the assignment areas in registrations become the check-ins locations when you check in, when you use Checkistrations on the assignment level. So I can, right now there's no filter because I turned that filter off before, but I could go back in registrations, and in the assignment I can add it back in, and you can also enable a child or adult filter here. So not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to go back. I went to the wrong place. It does give me a quick link to get back to my registration, and then so that they link back and forth for me. Now I can go back to this event, and we're going to look at a roster station here. On the day of event, so today is the day of my event, I've got a few people that haven't finished signing up. They're missing information. I'm missing payments for a few people. I do have a self-station set up for anybody who is complete. They can check themselves in and get everything done without having to talk to me, without having to worry about any of that details. But I also have my laptop set up on registrations and check-ins so that I can say, oh, I can go into the admin side, collect those payments, mark off the forms that I've received, and verify all of that other information. On this roster station here, I've got a list of everybody who signed up along with their specific assignment, where they are assigned. I can click on anybody if they have no warning messages, it just checks them in. If I believe, so Robert here is missing a balance due, and we are missing that online form. So a roster station and a manned station can override those warnings, and I can go ahead and check them in anyway. A self station is going to say, you are not complete, you need to go see a volunteer. So anybody that sees that message at the self station, I have instructions already. I have laid out a sign that says, come see me, so they can come to me. I can process the payments, collect their forms and any other personal information, and sign them up. So that is everything that I have for today. There's a whole lot more that check-ins can do, so I recommend watching Scott's video on all things check-ins that he did last week. And you can also, on the same place that you would watch Scott, you can watch me again if you want. If you want to share me with all of your friends, you can go to planningcenter.com/university. You can rewatch together. You can watch the other trainings. You can sign up for the other ones that we have coming in the coming weeks. That is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching.